Jason Roby here, along with the highlight guy, Steve Cody, the man on the moving pictures. It's actually a cast of thousands here. We've got Bedford TV simulcasting with us tonight. My partner, John Collins from Nashua ETV, is here as well. We'll be calling all the action for you. It is our Live with Liv Minute. If it looks a little bit different, it's because we are. If you're a little bit scared of heights, this is not the place for you. Liv, thanks for joining us up here. I saw you hurdle this thing like the former Division I athlete that you are. Maybe a little sore tomorrow. I don't know. I took the stairs. Anyway, want to ask you, what's this week been like for your young Cardinal team in terms of practicing, knowing you're coming in really against the juggernaut in Bedford High School, undefeated, #1 ranked team in the state?
Yeah, so it was tough. We had a cancellation for our game on Saturday, but it made way for a really good opportunity for lots of practice. So it was good, and it's what we need, especially as the young team that we are. So each day we got to focus on something a little bit different. Maybe we had, we would have times where we would incorporate a little bit of everything, but we would have days where, okay, let's really tune in, lock in on what we want to do defensively, who we want to be offensively, and so on and so forth. And, kind of having a focus of the day, I think, guided those practices really well and helped us have productive days while we weren't playing.
Yeah, you mentioned that Wachusett game that was not was on the schedule, and then there was a little bit of miscommunication, and it ended up not being, but almost like a glass half full situation. You could really kind of gear in and focus on this task ahead of you with this Bedford team. Your young team tonight, coming in with 6 wins, still teetering on the edge of that playoff berth. What do you need to do tonight to come out successful here?
Honestly, tonight is really about us coming out with no fear, right? It's no secret. The whole state of New Hampshire knows that Bedford is an exceptionally talented team. They have kids playing at elite levels in college next year and in years to come. So our message and our mindset for tonight is to come out and be who we are, execute in the way that we know how. We're playing hard every possession and playing with no fear.
Yeah, and you have to do that tonight. As the team start to head back to the bench now, I'm gonna let you get to it. We're really excited to call this and really excited to see how your girls have matured. Know the task is tough, but I know your kids are up for the challenge.
Thank you so much, I appreciate
Coach
it.
Liv
Thanks,
Orlando,
guys.
the head coach for the Bishop Guertin Cardinals, as she prepares to take her team into battle. And there she goes, down from the bleachers like it was nothing. And I'm joined by my partner here, John Collins. And John, you and I have called a lot of games in the last few years with this Bedford Bulldog team. Usually it was a preliminary game that went down to the wire, usually came down to free throws. And then, oh, by the way, the last 5 or 6 title games featured this Bedford Bulldog team and this Bishop Guertin team. Tonight, though, kind of two teams going in different directions maybe a little bit.
Yeah, the legacy of the Bishop Guertin Cardinals girls basketball team is so legendary. Legendary legacy. But yes, they're the team that's usually in the finals, usually against Bedford. We've called so many of those games. They've been tremendous, often come from behind, seesaw battles. And then, unfortunately, this may not be one of those games, as you just cogently set up there with Coach Liv. I mean, it's you were a coach, obviously in football, you know that the student talent pools run in cycles.
Sure. Yeah, so this could be a situation where it's a work in progress, and Coach Orlando has said, we're putting the plane together while we're in midair kind of thing. Yeah. Starting a lot of freshmen and sophomores, and this is a team that if they get on fire early on with the 3-point barrage, if they can get into the scorebook early, then they can make things interesting. This is a Bedford Bulldog team that we saw put 91 points up against Pinkerton, who was in the conversation as one of the top teams.
How about that? Now, I look down, of course you do too, the standings, the past results. At no point against any other of the inferior opponents, honestly, did Bedford put up 91 points. They did it against the number 2 team in the standings, who are 15-0 going into last Friday night's game. That is so hugely impressive. All I can think of is that they let the starters play the whole 32 minutes.
Yeah, it was an interesting game in that Pinkerton hung around for about a half, and then they kind of figured out, you know what, we're going to defend a little bit differently. We're going to do a couple of things differently. And it became a track meet, and one that Pinkerton just didn't have the legs for down the stretch. But Lonnie Buskey's team is back in the win column, and we could very well see that matchup again. As we point down to the floor, John, we have Ed Leishus, who's presenting an Unsung Hero Award tonight. And This year it is going to Bishop Guertin senior Mac Bowen. And a great story about Mac, John. She, a couple of times last year, actually ran the camera for us while we did a couple of the live stream Bishop Guertin games. She was injured, heck of a softball player, going to go on to play softball in college, but one of those seniors that really is a fantastic young lady and very deserving of that award. So congratulations to her on that Unsung Hero award.
Multi-sport athlete.
Yeah, you like to see that, right? You like to see kids play more than one sport, certainly from the standpoint of working different muscle groups, different ways, cross-training, and obviously learning how to play for different coaches, different coaching style, different game type scenarios and situations. You don't get that when you just play one sport, you know, and it's so important for today's young folks, at least this is one man's opinion, to play as many things, to participate in as many things as you possibly can.
Ed Leish's looking dapper as usual tonight.
John, yeah.
He looks fantastic.
Yeah,
I don't know what
$1 million
age he is at now, but I know I'm getting older, and he looks the same.
Well, if Tom was here, I would have thrown you at Tom. You're definitely looking older, buddy.
Yeah. Jon Stewart put up he's back on the Daily Show. He put up a photo of himself from 20 years ago, and he said, look at this. And he was making fun of himself, how much he aged, but it looks the same for 20 years, I will say. So good for him. He's always giving out the awards. He has of course, the Leish's trophy that gives out the football games. And
well, he's Mr. Nashua. I mean, he is Mr. Nashua. He is omnipresent.
Yeah, and he's a gem. The city is a better place because of guys like Ed Leish's, especially Mary Goyette, who we lost not too long ago. I thought of her the same way with the arts community. The individuals that the city is fortunate to have.
We also lost Al Savage. Mr. Savage was such a huge part of the city, a recent inductee a couple of years ago into the Nashua Athletics Hall of Fame, and just a terrific gentleman. He will be sorely missed. We are going to meet the starting lineups here first for the Bedford Bulldogs, the undefeated Bedford Bulldogs. Don't adjust your TV screen.
Right. Billy Joel's about to sing Turn the Lights Back On, right?
Fantastic.
You hear that song?
I have.
It's
fantastic.
He did all
right. It was good.
It's him. It's definitely Billy Joel.
Annie Zink gets the start. Number 5, Lila Stein, the junior captain, will get the start for Coach Gibbs. Number 15 is Sarah Muir. We saw her shoot lights out against Pinkerton. Heck of a player in her own right. Kate Allard, a 6'2" junior. Now, normally when you have a 6'2" player, that's going to be the tallest player on any floor, except for this Bedford team. They bring out 6'4".
I want to tell you, Jason,
Lana McCarthy.
I walked the baseline, and I know I'm short, but I felt like I was walking by Bedford. I went by Bedford doing warm-ups. I felt like I was walking by a WNBA team.
It's very impressive, the height and the length that this Bedford team has as we prepare to meet the Bishop Guertin Cardinal starters. They come in with 6 wins. The race is to 7, potentially 8, so every game important for this Cardinal team. Maddie Long, number 2, the sophomore guard, will get the start for Coach Orlando. Number 10 is Ayla Regan. She's a junior, and she'll get the nod. Number Holly Tufo, number 23, is a freshman guard. She's the sharpshooter. If they can get her on track early, they could stick around. Jazz Rosario, for those of you that have watched, another freshman for Coach Orlando, kind of does a little bit of everything, John.
Got to have players like that to be successful.
Yeah, no question about it. Dahlia Drapo, number 34, will round out the starting 5 for the Cardinals. A very talented Cardinal team, just not as long in the tooth. We'll take a pause here for the national anthem. We'll be right back for the tip.
Now we ask you all to please rise, remove your hats, as we honor America, those who have served her and continue to serve her with the playing of our national anthem as performed by the BGHS Pep Band.
Terrific job there by the Bishop Guertin Pep Band as we get ready for this. And John, I got to tell you, before we meet all of the folks involved in tonight's game, the Nashua ETV welcome. We have Bedford Television. Obviously, you're watching on the live stream with the highlight guy, Jason Roby, along with Steve Cody, calling all of the action for you here, joined by John Collins. When I walked up here this evening, it was kind of like I was visiting Oz. You know, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Giant green curtain,
it's like
I love it.
Crazy behind us. It looks like NASA is operating behind the scenes here.
With Dan Young at the controls,
right,
I agree with you. Yeah,
who do we have tonight here, John, from Nashua ETV helping us out?
We got Tim O'Neill on camera up next to the highlight
Diesel.
guy.
Tim Diesel
Steve
O'Neill.
Cody, yes. Our stalwart, our ESPN top 10 cameraman.
That's right.
Literally.
Yes.
We got Frank Wallen and Dylan Smith capturing
Frank the
more
Tank.
images. Frank the Tank.
And Dylan, get to the chopper, Wallen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dylan,
Smith, rather. Excuse me.
Dylan got
Smith.
some good court-level shots during the national anthem of the teams with their game faces on. And here's Jason Roby with your play-by-play.
All right, the ball is tapped up, and getting the control is Lila Stein. They will start in the half court. Bedford in all black. They feed the post, and there's McCarthy. No, Drapo battles and just killing him on the glass in the early going. Cardinals hit the floor and come away with it. Great effort there by Bishop Guertin.
Hungry basketball play, defense shining early here for BG.
Jazz Rosario working just beyond the beak of the Cardinal. Will come right, picked up there in the help defense by Muir. And a 5-second violation called against Jazz. That's a tough one. This is a Bedford team, John. You're going to see they defend.
Right. There is nobody that matches up with Bedford center Lana McCarthy. Let's be honest, they're going to feed her the ball a lot.
She's a talented individual, and we had a chance to speak with her after that Pinkerton game, and just a great young lady. She'll take her talents to Purdue and become a Boilermaker. Is downtown, no, and good box out, but there is Allard to clean up the mess, and she'll have a chance for a three-point play the old-fashioned way.
I got flashbacks to Kevin McHale on that one.
Yeah, very
Kate
long,
Allard. Yeah.
very athletic, and BG had pretty good positioning there on the glass, just couldn't make it happen. And there you go again.
Yeah, the second bite at the apple. And again, long arms Kate Allard gives Bedford another chance.
And Rosario will come away with, they'll call a travel against Muir, so it'll be possession to the Cardinals. But, John, you got to think, you can't give this Bedford team second, third, and fourth chances at the cup.
No, and it'd be nice to get BG on the board here, tie it up.
Regan on the right side. She'll pass it back up top to Long. They circumnavigate the globe. Rosario looking low post. A feed out to Drapo. She thought about it. She'll take it to the cup. No. And clearing the glass is McCarthy. Bedford will run 2-0 Bulldogs. They take their undefeated record on the road here at the Nest. Around the outside, pass along the baseline, skip pass across the way, goes to Zink. Zink in triple threat position, looking for some help, guarded closely by Regan. Baseline dribble drive, no travel call. Yes, they're gonna call it, and it was a good one there as McCarthy may have taken a couple of steps.
You picked up on it, Jason. The double team, or was it a triple team, helped out to force the turnover?
Well, you know she's gonna get hers, and obviously the further away you can keep her from the basket, the better suited you are. We have a couple of substitutes that have just come in. Number 15 is Maggie Gallagher getting her first action. And number 12, Bella Fayed, as the ball goes out of bounds. Coach Gibbs doesn't have any eligibility left, so he'll hand it back over to the official. Doing the honors is Gallagher from just beside the Bulldog bench. Rosario now, top of the key. They're trying to force her to the right, and that's the game plan. She is a lefty. That ball is going to go off of Gallagher. It was tipped by Allard, deflected off Gallagher, and there you see Coach Orlando. Anything she can do to stay positive, this young coach will do. I've been very impressed by Coach Orlando.
I'm hoping Holly Dufault will put one up here early, see if she's got a hot hand tonight, Jason.
Well, Dufault going to have to play some defense first as that ball comes up top, and Allard knocks down the triple.
Well, she's got the outside and the inside game going. Number 20 for Bedford, a great player, Kate Allard.
You can see that, again, they try to force Jazz to go to her right. She'll get the ball down in the corner. Low block pass to the elbow. There's Dufo. Tried to dribble. You saw that lane close right down, John.
No space.
So they'll reset the offense. No shot clock here in the state of New Hampshire. That ball picked up by Rosario, and we're going to get a travel call. It was a good look. She found herself all alone and took that step, did Fayed.
It was a great feed, good court vision by Rosario, and unfortunately, BG literally stumbles with a great chance to get on the board.
Skip pass across the way. Stein now feeds the low block. They'll reverse it. Shot way downtown, and a Yahtzee for Annie Zink. She joins the three-party.
2 long shots and nothing but net. Bedford opening up an early lead.
8-0 Cardinals. They'll try to get their first bucket here on this possession. Fayed beyond the arc will find Rosario. Tough sledding here in the early going for the Cardinals, trying to get some penetration. A reach in there, no call. Great pressure defense provided by the Bulldogs. Rosario, right-hand dribble top of the key over to Fayed. She'll lose it after 2 dribbles and find Drapo. Dahlia now in the corner. This is Dufo, has the baseline, and we're going to get a blocking call, and the first one of the night against the Bulldogs.
So we're almost halfway through the first quarter, and you can see one of the biggest reasons why this Bedford team is so tough. They don't give up any points.
Right, they play very, very tough defense. Driving to the hoop is Drapo, and she's in the books, and this place goes nuts.
Her teammates leap to their feet. That was a thrilling play. They need more of it.
Dribble drive, no call. They went straight up. Allard thought maybe there was a foul there. Coach Gibbs just crosses his arms. I don't think he can believe it. Drapo's not shy. Downtown, air ball. Trying to clear the glass was Fayed. The board comes to Allard, and she will slow things down in the half court. She surveys the scene, skips it across the way. Stein between the legs will take a step back and look for some help.
Like the confidence by Philbrook, you just have to make the shot.
Downtown shot and shooting lights out here, John.
Yeah, Bedford's making their shots, and it's going to be tough for BG unless they come up with something here. Timeout.
3 3-pointers knocked down in the early going of this one. 3:22 to go in the first quarter. 11-2. Bishop Guertin down by 9. Hey, speaking of athletes, are you an athlete or the parent of an athlete? John Collins was an athlete, still is. Are you looking to play sports in college? The Highlight Guy has helped over 100 athletes get recruited. We create highlight videos that help you get noticed by college coaches. To see our work, go to our YouTube channel or visit thehighlightguy.com. And we talk about athletes here, John. No shortage of athletes out on this floor. I had an opportunity, as I mentioned to you, the last time we saw this Bedford team play against Pinkerton. I talked to Lana McCarthy after the game, and there is a long-standing state record here in New Hampshire set by Laura Guertin of the one unified Nashua High School through the shot put 51 feet, and I haven't seen a kid be able to come close to that mark. She was a full ride kid to North Carolina. She was a U.S. Olympian, and I think there might be one kid in the state that could maybe approach that if she threw the shot put. It would be McCarthy. She is a strong, athletic, agile young lady, although clearly has a full ride to Purdue, so going to obviously, and rightfully so, put the eggs in that basket, no question.
I used to see Laura Guertin at Best Fitness in the off-season. Always the strongest person in the gym.
Very impressive individual.
Both genders.
Both athletically and just as a person.
Right.
Rosario tried to skip pass it across the way. It went off of a Bulldog paw. So Dufo will do the honors in front of the far side bleacher. Guertin, of course, in their white uniforms. Their home jerseys as Rosario is forced to the right. She'll try to reverse and get bumped out towards half court. She's got a good first step, but that ball gets deflected and back the other way come the Bulldogs. This is Muir. She started on the left, went to the right.
Yeah, so many weapons. I'm surprised she didn't make that. Knew exactly what she wanted to do with it.
Dufo has her alley cut down, and they'll have to work it around the perimeter. Rosario now working left to right. Back up top, it comes to Fayed. Crossover. Loses the dribble and finds Drapo. It was a move to the hoop and kick out. So they try to penetrate, and it's just hard to go up against 6'4" and get anything at the rim.
Yeah, I'd like to see BG set more picks, free some people up.
A runner in the lane, teardrop, no good, and transition defense. Cards will get back. It was a good look for Drapo.
Just didn't get the roll.
Yep. Back outside it comes. Stein's not shy. Back iron, no. Good positioning by Drapo. She hits the deck. She won't get credit for it, but a good job by Thalia on the box out. She's looking a little tired though. She's definitely feeling it. She's playing hard here as the steal comes back the other way. A little give and go between Stein, or Muir rather, and Zink.
You can tell they did that before. Dynamic duo there with kind of an alley-oop between guards.
13-2 Bulldogs. Cards will operate in the half court. A little reach in there, no call. Very aggressive. And one of the things some teams have been able to do, Pinkerton did, was get McCarthy in foul trouble early. They're going to say that one was on the baseline. So the turnover will give the ball back to the Bulldogs as 4 substitutes will check in.
Yeah, plays like that, you can tell the threshold of the referee, like what they're going to allow, what they're going to whistle. And this may be one of the games where, as they say, they're letting them play.
No question. Fired way downtown. Zink, and she'll knock down a triple. And she has 8 points here in the early going. 16-2 Bulldogs.
Zink's the basket. A few times. Great shooters on this Bedford team, giving us a glimpse of why they are the cream of the crop in Division I this season.
Fayed now, one dribble kick back out. This is Pizzetti. The senior is a spark plug, usually provides a lot of intensity when she checks in the game. She'll give a little ball fake and has it knocked away from her. Just quick hands here by this Bulldog team. Tenacious defensively are the Bulldogs. Drapo from well beyond the arc will give the ball back up. Pizzetti now, left hand, and she found the lane open. Runner in the lane, no good. And clearing the glass coming the other way was Lana McCarthy, the freshman sister. Or excuse me, Melody. No, that was Lana, right? It was Lana, my mistake.
Kate Allard comes close to a three-pointer that would almost bring Bedford to 20. So, Jason, you get the feeling like BG's in the game, then you look up at the scoreboard.
Well, I think the shooting percentage, when you go look at the shot chart, they're probably shooting at about 90% here.
Right.
Ball comes back up top. This is Muir. Sarah got it out to Allard. She back irons one, and again, another offensive rebound at the glass. They're going to say no good. And John, we'll come to the end of the first quarter. You said it, 16-2. It's been all Bedford, but if you turn the scoreboard off, you think, this young Cardinal team is battling.
Yeah, they battled from the very beginning when they got a turnover underneath the basket, ripping the ball away from Lana McCarthy. But it was probably only a matter of time before Bedford separated themselves. I don't think either one of us foresaw maybe BG ended up with only 2 points in the first quarter.
No, well, the other thing is this is a Guertin team that shoots very well from beyond the arc, but you're seeing this Bedford team extend that defense well beyond the arc, and they're not giving up anything easy to these Cardinals. And then you say, well, if you're going to extend that defense, let's drive to the hoop, and at the very least, maybe we get fouled, we get sent to the free throw line. But this is a very quick reacting Bedford team that adjusts and helps out and provides a lot of pressure even under the hoop. So a difficult task for this young Cardinal team. And John, you may have, I started to say it, Lana McCarthy, 6'4", do everything senior going to Purdue. She has a young freshman sister on the team, Melody McCarthy, and she played a fantastic game for this Bulldog team against Pinkerton. And we'll probably get to see her at some point as well.
Yeah, she's number 23, that great basketball number. It's like number 10 in soccer these days.
Yeah, that's right. He's wearing the number of Jordan.
Yeah.
And
LeBron, right?
Right. She is in there.
So BG taking control of the first possession, trying to score the first basket here in quarter number 2, maybe get off to a different start compared to what happened in the first quarter when they struggled to get on the board. That's a foul against Bedford, so BG will inbound it. Maddie Long doing the duty. Ayla Regan takes the inbound pass. Ayla trying to find the answer against this Bedford team, who have been so tenacious, as Jason said, on defense, giving no breathing space to BG on offense. Good dribbling display by Regan, and she puts it up and no good. And it's a kick ball. It's supposed to be called.
Well, not on. It wasn't kicked on purpose.
On purpose,
So a lot of
okay.
times they won't call that. Usually it's up to the referee's discretion, but in that particular situation, definitely not a purposely done thing. You saw it right there as well.
Allard's pass is stuffed by Maggie Gallagher. So good defense by Gallagher to get in the passing lane.
Cardinals are really playing tough defense. They're battling down below. They give up a lot of height to this Bulldog team, but they're playing hard.
Maddie Long. Now this is Maddie Gallagher. BG working their way toward the basket. Gabby Philbrick passes it back outside to Maddie Long. Who's going to shoot the basketball? Who's going to have enough space to shoot it? Backing out. Trying to find some room. Here's Maddie Long on the sideline. Gabby Philbrick. BG not getting any penetration here. Who's going to launch this basketball? It's going to be Ayla Regan. Holds it over her head. Trying to cut through was Philbrick, and she is unable to get it to fall. The follow-through is there for Maggie Gallagher. They score the first 2 points of the second quarter.
Huge bucket there for Gallagher. It was a good take by Drapo, and that ball goes through the lane, and it was intended down low for McCarthy, Melody McCarthy. And unfortunately for the Bulldogs, it did not find its mark. They'll have to come back and help. So Guertin now will operate in the half court.
Jazz Rosario, who got a little bit of a breather there with Regan in the game. She's back in there with the ball. Played the full first quarter. And they throw it away, as unfortunately Gianna Pizzetti just couldn't corral the pass to her left. Bit of a miscommunication there by the Cardinals.
We know that scoring is going to be difficult for this Cardinal team, so they really can't afford to be giving away possessions. And just as we say that, another possession given up by the Bulldogs. So if you're Guertin, you have to make this one count.
Yeah, the Bedford Bulldogs, who probably average about 3 points every minute, have come out for the first couple of minutes here in the second quarter and not yet scored. That's probably unusual for them throughout the course of the season. Whistle, 16-2 at the end of one, now 16-4, and BG has a chance to score again after the turnover.
You know, John, you try to find your small victories and, win the quarter. You know, if you can try to come out on top and outscore your opponent in the quarter, that's a victory, especially against a team that hasn't lost since last year's title game against this Cardinal team. And really not this Cardinal team, but the program.
Shot from the corner by Dufault, and she hits it. Holly Dufault, three-pointer, makes it a 16-7 game.
A good knockdown shot there by Dufault, as you see a great job boxing out, but McCarthy knocks it down.
The catch and release, and the first 2 points of the second quarter for the Bulldogs, as Jazz Rosario dribbles it up the court, being guarded closely by Grace Wolf. Off to the side, now they switch up, and it is Melody McCarthy that was on defense on Rosario. Ball goes in the corner. Let's see if they go back to Dufault here, if they can get the ball all the way around. Instead, it's a turnover off of BG's Maggie Gallagher out of bounds. So Bedford gets a chance to double up.
Yeah, excuse me, John. Just another situation where, you know, you work hard on the defensive side of things and you give up a tough shot, and then you take the ball down and you turn it over. You gotta be able to. I gotta say she stepped, and you know what? You're not gonna see that in the book, John, but you're gonna see Dahlia Drapo, the young sophomore, force McCarthy into the baseline, uses her body, has quick feet, and as a result, McCarthy steps on the baseline. Possession Cardinals.
Textbook defense without committing the foul. And we have a pushing foul against, I believe it was Grace Wolf gets called for it.
Yeah, Grace will pick up the personal foul. Remember that the race is to five fouls, and in each quarter they reset. You get the 5 fouls, you head to the line for a pair.
And individually they still keep track, so you could foul out by the end of the game. Jazz Rosario to her left. Grace Wolf stays right with her. In the corner, Dufault, the catch and release. And off the side of the backboard, unfortunately. Hit from the right side. Not so much luck with the left.
Great job by Gallagher there, John, on the boards to keep this possession alive.
Thought about the shot. Gabby goes to the basket, got fouled and makes it.
What a great job by Drapo. She comes into the triple threat position. Ball fake, drives to the hoop, up and under. Chance to complete the three-point play. Awesome job by Thalia Drapo. She'll head to the line for a free throw, a chance to get this.
Okay, so Thalia Drapo at the line. She has had a great sequence here in the second quarter. Down court, Bedford. 18-9 now. It was a 16-2 score at the end of one.
Cardinals hanging around here. Here comes the double team. On the floor they go. Cardinals are just fighting for possession. Jump ball called. Hey, someone forgot to tell this freshman-dominated team that they're not supposed to be doing this against this Bedford team.
How about that? But 5 Larry Birds out there diving for the loose ball on the floor.
Well, that's exactly what it's going to take, and it's going to take 4 quarters of it, John.
Bedford had the possession arrow, so they keep the basketball. 3 minutes, 15 seconds to go in the half. The catch and release, and it's a good shot from distance.
I think
Number
it was
5,
Lila Stein.
Lila Stein nails it. So yes, up over the 20-point plateau go the Bulldogs as Jazz Rosario goes to the left and hands it off to Ayla Regan. Regan trying to back her way in, is double teamed up the top of the key. The shot by Thalia is off to the right.
It was a good look within the scope of the offense.
Driving baseline, Sarah Muir kicks it out. Three-pointer is good, and back-to-back threes by Lila Stein, one of the co-captains.
That's 6 3-pointers in the game so far here for the Bulldogs. 18 points beyond the three-point stripe.
That's pretty accurate shooting. Great textbook form, too. They just keep their eyes right on the basket, and it's going to be tough to beat a Bedford team that's shooting that well.
We're going to see the boys game later on tonight. It's 2 varsity games are being played here as downtown no.
Lana McCarthy snatching that rebound easily. Stein finds the cutter underneath for 2. Sarah Muir. Good court vision. Timeout, BG.
Yeah, 30-second timeout, John. And that's one of the first times that Bedford has gotten beaten in transition there. They've had pretty good transition defense, getting back and stopping BG hustling back. That particular time, Bedford got behind the defense, so to speak, and up for an easy layup, 26-9.
Yeah, despite the early stumble in the second quarter, Bedford rights the ship, and they're back on track, opening up a gap.
And this is a Bedford team, John, that you'll see go on runs. I mean, Bishop Guertin started the quarter on a 5-0 run, and then Bedford has scored the last 10. So it's not something that hasn't been done to other teams here. And not just in the state of New Hampshire. This is a Bedford team that beat Massachusetts Power Bishop Feehan during a holiday tournament. So it's not just the New Hampshire schools. This Bulldog team is loaded top to bottom and definitely the odds-on favorite to hoist the plaque at the end of the year.
Rosario changing directions. Holly Dufault has a little bit of room. Bounce pass. Gets it back, thought about the shot, cuts through the paint, then sees Lana McCarthy and kicks it back out. Rosario in the corner. McCarthy goes out to greet her. She's everywhere right now. Dufault cutting, and that's a clean block. They're going to call a foul.
Yeah, 2 fouls. And I think that one is going to go against the young 22 Devlin McDonald.
Yeah, that was not against McCarthy. Nope. It was against McDonald. And Holly Dufault to the line with 1:27 to go in the half. Makes her free throw.
And Dufault's the player you want at the line because she's a great shooter.
Sure.
And as we'll see Lana get her first break, and checking in for her is her younger sister, Melody McCarthy. We saw her play as an 8th grader, and the freshman is extremely impressive.
Holly misses the second one. Bedford sprints down court. Stein underneath, and they can't corral it.
Yeah, go ahead, John. Sorry.
3 games remain in the season. This is including this one. And next up, Bedford will play Alvern at Alvern on the 20th. That's 4 days from now. They'll conclude the season on the 22nd at home against Salem. That's Bedford. BG, meanwhile, has games against Exeter and Wyndham.
Yeah, those are not gimmies. Those are going to be difficult games for those Cardinals. No carry called there. Thought we were going to get it, but no. Downtown fired another offensive rebound by Stein.
Everybody but the officials thought that was an over-the-top dribble, but Bedford turns it into a three-pointer.
And Stein, someone's got to get a fire extinguisher in here because Stein is on fuego.
Maybe somebody can get up and try to get in the shooter's vision there. Stein, left alone, is just deadly.
And helping her own cause, John, is she got that offensive rebound.
Right. Great player. One of many great players on this Bedford team. No surprise with the record that they do have. Double dribble.
Cardinals are fortunate there, John, as there were two Bulldogs out in front of the pack.
Yeah, that would have been a layup drill. So Maddie Long with the inbound play to Rosario. Half a minute to go, first half. BG is up at the 10-point plateau, but unfortunately they trail Bedford by 19 as they play for what may be the final shot here. Dufault, a step back, she's got space. Just left it short. What a brave rebound by Maddie Long.
Long went into the land of the trees and skied up for that one. Unfortunately, she came down and landed on the baseline, but a great job by Long.
She didn't get any call. She got the ball. She didn't get the call, and she's out of bounds, unfortunately. So Bedford, 1 second, they got to let it go. It's a basket right at the end by Sarah Muir. So an exclamation point to the first half. Bedford ends up with 31, a 21-point lead over the Cardinals.
It's an impressive Bedford Bulldog team and everything we thought we would see. When you shoot at that high a percentage, it's hard. This is a Guertin team that you'll go back and you'll watch this on Bedford TV or Nashua ETV or the highlight guy. It doesn't matter where you watch it. You're going to see the same thing. High shooting percentage, a lot of second chance points there for Bedford. And oh, by the way, this is not a Cardinal team that is letting it happen easily. They're battling on the glass. They're getting after loose balls on the floor. You're just seeing one of the best teams, not just in the state of New Hampshire, but in all of New England.
Impressive.
We'll take a brief minute here, catch our breath, and come back with second half action. 31-10 at the half, Bedford over Bishop Guertin. We'll be right back with the second half tip.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Welcome back to the nest here on the campus of Bishop Guertin High School. Jason Roby calling the action for you with John Collins from Nashua ETV. You're watching on the highlight guy, you're watching on Nashua ETV, you're watching on Bedford TV. I don't know, maybe they've got a special satellite. Who knows what's going on? Probably watching on Huddle. Everybody and their brother, I want to welcome everybody here. We saw Bishop Guertin battle this Bedford team as well as anybody, John, and still down 21 points heading into the third.
We all know March Madness is right around the corner.
Yes.
You can feel it bubbling up. We're seeing some February madness here. It's the hunger that BG brought to this game. It doesn't help them on the scoreboard very much, but I've been impressed by the fact that they've come out here and been very up for the fight.
If BG makes the second season, John, and they have a lot of work to do to get there, it's going to be a team that nobody wants to play because they
especially in the early rounds.
Yeah, no question.
Yeah, 6-8 right now as they begin the action tonight. Here's Jason Roby on your play-by-play.
Jazz Rosario on the left corner will get it out to Drapo. She is well beyond the three-point arc. She needs to get to the cup has the ball stripped from her. Stein will run. The outlet pass is too long, and it will go off. It looks like it went off of Stein, so it'll be Cardinal ball. Again, transition defense, something the Cards have to be ready to do as the Bulldogs are getting down the floor quickly. Rosario along the right side skips it over to Regan. Regan thought about driving. Instead, will get it up top to Long. Nearly had her pocket picked, and that ball just kind of thrown away. Allard will come back the other way. The 6'2" captain will skip it across the way. Stein at the hot hand. She'll get it over to Annie Zink, and Zink says, "Thank you very much, Yahtzee." She has 11 points and had the first points of the third quarter.
You mentioned Lana McCarthy on her way to Purdue, the senior. A lot of these girls in Bedford are going to be playing at the next level.
Yeah, no question about it. Just top to bottom, very, very talented. Baseline, it goes Dufo, has the alley cut off. Backdoor cut, no foul call. 3 Bulldogs went up and challenged Drapeau's shot, and they come away with it. A little backdoor cut, and nobody was there protecting the backside baseline as Stein goes in for a bucket.
Wow, this Bedford team will wear you down on both ends of the court.
It is a Bedford team that has not lost, as we mentioned, since last year's title game to this Cardinal program. As down on the baseline it goes, and a push, and that foul will go against McCarthy. But John, the thing we noticed, that's only Lana's, I believe, her first foul of the night.
Yeah, Thalia Drapeau, a little bit of frustration, I think, her last time down the court when you saw her try that right-handed scoop shot. I think she thought she got body checked by Lana McCarthy there a little bit. Maybe could have got the call the last time down the court. But the officials set a tone early that they were kind of going to let them play, and it's going to take some extraordinary body contact to draw fouls in this one.
Well, Drapeau is playing tough here. She slams the ball down. But you like that kind of fire,
fight, don't you? I do. I like that.
Stein gets the board and will come down the right side. Lost the handle. She'll skip it outside. Allard's not shy. She'll Yahtzee one from way downtown, and the three-point barrage continues.
She's got a pretty shot from outside. Kate Allard.
Cardinals now operating in the half court. This is Regan looking for some help. She has her dribble. She'll use it. Crossover to the elbow it comes. And a travel called there by Fayed. Is anytime you have someone 6'4" standing with their hands up to alter your shot, it kind of changes the way you might approach the basket.
I know she shuffled her feet twice, but don't you get 2 steps if you let it go right away?
Yeah, you would think.
I'm not qualified to be a basketball ref, but I only saw 2 steps and a shot. So
there it is, everybody. John Collins on the way. Why are you wearing a striped shirt tonight?
Yeah. 2 steps is what they usually. That's just the starters for the NBA guys. 2 or 3 on the way to the basket.
Ball comes up top, little triangle look there as that shot was bothered by Drapeau. A good defensive look there by Drapeau on McCarthy. So nice job by the sophomore. She'll take it to the hoop hard.
Look at that play by Thalia Drapeau. Third time's the charm as she went to her right, and then Bedford answers back quickly. Lila Stein.
You know, a timeout, and a good timeout. And I'll say this, John. I would love to see Drapeau go to the basket every time she touches the ball.
Why not?
I mean, at this point, you know, because good things happen when you drive to the basket. It's either going to be a foul on the other team, you're going to have a chance to make a three-point play, you put the other team in foul trouble.
Yeah.
You know, good things happen when you go to the cup. And not to mention, you can crash the boards with some of your outside players following that possession and still have 2 players back on defense. So I realize I'm not an offensive genius by any stretch when it comes to diagramming basketball plays, but every time this year that I've seen Drapeau head to the hoop, good things have happened.
Tell you what, she drove 3 times to her right against Lana McCarthy. She was 2 for 3. She went to the free throw line once. She made it the 3rd time. She'll probably try that again before the night's over.
That ball was tipped by McCarthy, and coming away with the steal is Annie Zink, and a nice pass on the baseline. Skip pass. Look at how well that ball goes around the key, around the three-point line. Allard knocks down another triple.
Just, Easy as you please as the ball movement frees up Allard completely for that shot.
Regan now in the corner, gets it up top to Dufo. She thought about it. Regan doesn't think about it. She fires back iron. No, that ball going to go off of McCarthy. And you saw there, Drapo again battling for it as the two bodies collide, and the Cardinals will get possession.
That was hard contact, Jason, right in front of us here.
I would say so.
The last time I saw it hit that hard, I think I was watching the Super Bowl a few Sundays ago.
Well, physics is something that you don't really think about sometimes here in basketball, but it's a very real thing, and there's a lot of contact between these two teams. Drapo now, left-hand dribble to the elbow, marked up closely by Devlin McDonald. They get it back over to Pizzetti. Pizzetti now will change directions. Here comes the double team skip pass, knocked away there by Zink. Card's lucky to come away with it. This is Fayed now. She gets a pick on ball and a nice pick, no call, and Drapo gets up slowly as Pizzetti will battle McCarthy for the ball, and the Bulldogs will lose possession. Drapo set a hard pick. She hit the deck, no call.
Man, that was some hard contact. Thalia Drapo, keep an eye on her. You talk about a high compete level and putting your body on the line. Number 34 for BG. Who's matched up with Lana McCarthy right now. She is all in this game.
Pizzetti gets the ball over, and now Drapo on close to that low block. Handoff and a nice play to Long.
Play. What a feed by Drapo.
Well, look how fast the Bulldogs get back down there. Fortunate that they missed that one, and back the other way comes Drapo. And Drapo can dribble the ball. She'll dribble and spin move, pretty move, cleans up the glass, hits the deck, no call.
They're going to see out of bounds off of Bedford. And swatted out, I guess.
Drapo is going to sleep well tonight, John.
Oh, boy.
She is battling in there. Nice runner in the lane. And again, John, it doesn't go, but Gallagher drives the lane and has a good look.
I tell you, they're showing glimmers of really great play. It might not happen tonight against this Bedford team, but if they stay on that track, good things are going to happen for this fairly young BG roster.
Well, and it's a Bishop Guertin team that really, being so young, I think they're learning how to fight, right?
Yeah.
How to stay in this thing, not think about the score necessarily as knocking down the first of two.
Thalia Drapo is going to come out for a well-earned rest.
Second free throw forthcoming. And that was Ella Allard, the freshman younger sister. She goes and misses the second. Thrown up. Pizzetti hits the deck, and the Bulldogs will run. This is Sarah Muir. Skip pass across the way into the left corner. Downtown, no. Three Cards converge on it, and coming away with it, it looked like Gabby Philbrick. And she'll get the ball back over to Long. Maggie now, low pass, handled there. Fortunate for the Cards. Philbrick, right-hand dribble. Looking for some help. She's marked up closely by Sarah Muir. Nice bounce pass. Two Cardinals collide. Fortunate to come away with it there. Back to the hoop is Gallagher. She was looking for an open Cardinal, and a great save there by Annie Zink. And back the other way come the Bulldogs. And that time, just, a matter of strength as McCarthy caught the ball, went up strong, got hacked in the act. She'll head to the line for a pair with 1:58 to go in the third quarter.
You're seeing the results of a whole season of conditioning, I think. Thinking about Lana McCarthy running the floor at 6'4", still late in the game, still hustling up and down. I mean, I'm impressed by the conditioning of the athletes here. Later in the season, you'll see that.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, John, this is one of the smaller floors that they play on as McCarthy goes 0 for 2. But even on the bigger floor at Pinkerton, they were up and down. It was like a track meet out there.
Right, hardly even breathing hard, right?
Back across the way it goes. This is Grace Wolf. She'll reset the offense into the corner now. They'll get it down on the low block. Stepping into that passing lane was Fayed, and Regan will come away with it. And that pass was written by Tom King as it was telegraphed in last night's edition. Nearly stolen.
Megan Muir with the steal. But yeah, Bella Fayed with a nice play, getting in the passing lane.
So the Cards trying to put some more points on the board here in the half court, and they'll operate, and it's a play. You saw 3 picks.
Glad she shot it.
3 picks on that particular play, John, were set for Dufo. She couldn't knock it down, but offensive rebound goes to Drapo.
Oh, they read my mind on the picks. It's a good-looking shot. The high archer doesn't go, and then BG turns it over, unfortunately.
And Drapo, you know, starting to the gas tank might be getting a little empty there, as she has just done. She's battled like a warrior all night here, and you know there's some other bodies on that Guertin bench that we'll see if Coach Orlando puts them in to bang with some of these bigs, as taking it in hard is Melody McCarthy, and she'll have a chance to complete the 3-point play.
Yeah, Thalia got caught flat-footed right there and committed the foul, so she's going to get coached up here for a second.
McCarthy will head to the line for a free throw.
Melody's a freshman.
Yeah, she knocks it down.
So it's a treat, I'm sure, for the McCarthy family to see both girls on the varsity playing together for just the 1 year that it's possible with the freshman and the senior.
And in the Pinkerton game, Lana, we talked to her after the game. She said how proud she was of her younger sister and how well she did in that Pinkerton game because she was in foul trouble.
Who knows? She might follow her to Purdue. Do it again.
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah. I'm sure that Lana will be able to talk to the Purdue coach.
Skipped around, all 5 Bulldogs touch it and can't get it to go. The rebound goes to Dufo, 28 seconds and counting. Fayed all alone on the low block. Contact initiated, and that foul will go against Melody McCarthy as Fayed will head to the line for a pair.
Nice play by Bella to shield the ball with the body. Textbook play underneath the basket. Earns her trip to the line.
Bella knocks down the first. She will get a second. We mentioned the Unsung Hero Award was presented tonight here by Ed Leishus in honor of Paige Parkinson and Elizabeth Croak, 2 BG players who passed away, sadly. And it's nice that they present that award. Ed presents that award each year at North High School, South High School, and now Bishop Guertin High School, boys and girls. And the boys' trophy will be presented later tonight as another foul called there. Good sportsmanship shown by Melody McCarthy as a good defensive board for the Cardinals. So small victories here for BG. 47-16, 11.3 seconds to go. They'll roll the ball up to keep the last shot alive.
Preserving precious seconds.
I like it. Dufo loses the dribble. Finds Drapo. They tried to feed Fayed. Dufo will have to pop shot.
Yeah.
And she shot that one lefty, John.
Not optimal.
Hoping something would happen, and unfortunately, nothing to show for it there. We'll head to the 4th quarter. Bishop Guertin behind 47-16 to the mighty Bedford Bulldogs. John, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you've had a chance to see this Bedford Bulldog team in action yet this year. This is my second chance seeing them, and they are all that in a bag of chips.
Well, I'll tell you what, when I looked at the scores and the schedule, the results so far this season, I wondered if I had to pay to come in here tonight. I mean, they are something else. That kind of a track record of 15-0 coming into this thing, and I'm sure they can't help but look ahead a little bit to the playoffs, where they will probably have the first round bye and play in the quarters and the semis and the finals. That's only 3 games to win it all.
Yeah, and you know, they're definitely playing, as Lana told us at that Pinkerton game, we're playing with a little bit of a chip on our shoulder. We felt like maybe we had a chance to win those last 2 titles, and we came up short.
You saw the comeback by BG was just one for the ages.
Yeah, and before I hand over this call for John Collins in the fourth quarter, I just want to say I told you that the unsung hero who was named after and who presented it, I don't think I told you who got it. It was Mac Bowen, the senior for Bishop Guertin. So congrats again to Mac Bowen for her winning that award. Well deserved. John Collins with the fourth quarter call.
Thank you, Jason. I do believe you did say Mac
very
Bowen
good.
during the presentation, but doesn't hurt to say it again.
Leash is quick to point out that I took a lot of shots to the head as Allard hits from the outside. So maybe, I could have forgotten something here or there, but I appreciate that.
Kate Allard, don't have the official scoring, do we? But I think she is the top scorer in this game, number 20 for Bedford, as they come up with another steal and charge down the court and lay it in. That's Lila Stein, who's got to have double digits
she's got
as well.
18. Yeah, and so she might be the lead scorer for this Bedford team. 13, I think, for Allard, and McCarthy really only Yahtzee downtown.
Holly Dufo left wide open and showing why she has a reputation as a fine shooter for this BG team. Nothing but net on that three-pointer. 51-19. There have been a lot of points scored in this game. Unfortunately, 51 of them by this Bedford Bulldogs team. 70 in altogether between the two teams. Of course, Pinkerton and Bedford battling a week ago accounted for 140-something points. That's a three-pointer.
I think it was just two, I believe, John. Yeah,
2 points?
For Muir. I believe it was Sarah Muir.
But Sarah Muir from downtown.
To your point, John, 53 points, and Lana McCarthy only accounted for 2 of them. So that's a scary thing, right? When you think about all of the scoring threats and weapons that this Bedford team has.
Dufo left it short. Holly trying to follow her shot, get her own rebound. Instead, Bedford has a throwaway. And back comes the Cardinals. Ayla Regan into the wing as Lana McCarthy comes out to take space away from Dufo, and Bedford commits the foul.
Yeah, you saw Annie Zink come over to start a double team on the low block, and she anticipated that pass. Unfortunately for her, she went through the body and picked up the foul as a couple of Cardinals will come in as Fayed and Rosario head to the bench for a much-needed break.
Inbound play just into the game. Again, Maggie Gallagher with the deflected pass, stolen by Bedford. Lila Stein, layup drill. 2 more for Bedford. They're up 55-19 on cruise control here in the fourth quarter.
It was an impressive look there by Bedford as they just run the floor so well.
Holly Dufo in and out. Just bothered a little bit by Lila Stein, who was charging over to get a hand in her face. Barely missed that shot. BG throws it away into their own bench.
So I think when you watch this film back, if you're BG, right, the thing that Coach Orlando and her staff going to take from this is, look, we had opportunities. We just came away empty-handed, either with a turnover or a foul or what have you. And you don't see a lot of missed opportunities by this Bedford team. They make the most of that situation as Allard goes up and is hacked in the act.
Wow. Parrish to McHale for 2. This Bedford team is so impressive. Lana McCarthy will come out as her sister Melody comes into the game.
Yeah, 4 Bulldogs will take a seat as Allard will get a chance to complete the three-point play, and she'll be buzzed out for if she makes this. She does not.
Another substitute yet. Time to take the starters out, I guess. The scoop shot off the glass, no good by Melody McCarthy, and she will go to the line as the foul committed by Ayla Regan. 4:43 to go in the basketball game. And Melody McCarthy with fine form at the stripe. As Kate Allard checks out of the game, gets a standing ovation from her teammates, well earned.
Yeah, Allard will have the book closed on her. 15 points, a lot of monster rebounds, great passes.
Yeah, at least 3 threes.
Yeah, she had
right?
3 threes.
Wow, great shooting, Kate Allard. She is a big reason why this Bedford team is favored to win the New Hampshire State title. Holly Dufo had just a second of breathing room, but closing in on her was Karina Camineni. Long shot by Regan doesn't go, out of bounds off.
They're going to say it went off for the Bulldogs. Long battled for it and hit it into Muir's hand. So Megan going to say they went off of her as the ball comes over the top to Gallagher. That
And
ball intended for
almost
John
made
Collins.
it over here. Yeah, just barely caught some of the stage. I would have had a souvenir city.
Budgets are tight, John. You got to return that stuff.
I would have. Well, they got whole basketballs they have over there.
I bet that has a lock on it, too. It does.
There's so many.
You bet it does.
Yes. And BG with a nice play. Thalia Drapo steps in the passing lane, intercepts.
You see the difference there, John, how fast Bedford got back on defense? Now there are fresh legs as Drapo.
Holly Dufo
Drapo
is a shooter.
Drapo knocks down the 3, and she has 9 here tonight. But you see how fast, and again, fresh legs on this Bedford group that's in there. But they sprinted back on defense.
And that one's the Bedford attempt at a 3, doesn't go, deflected out of bounds by the Cardinals. So substitution here, another one for BG. Melanie McCarthy is out, and Devlin McDonald is in the game.
They'll substitute a freshman for another freshman, so this bench is loaded.
Perimeter passing by Bedford, the wide open look by McDonald. Cold off the bench, that's got to be a tough shot every time. And BG rebound, down court. Maddie Long, fakes left, goes to her right. As the Bedford defense switches off, this is Gianna Pizzetti. And Ayla Regan with an open 3, Long on the shot, and rebound Karina Kamenini.
Selfishly, I would have liked to have seen Regan drive the hoop instead of step back there. Looked like she had a lane to the bucket.
Thalia Drapo gets a hand on that pass. Bedford gets it back. McDonald, turnaround pass, finds Kamenini, kicks it out top. Bedford working their way closer to the basket. A deflected shot by Megan Muir. Out of bounds off the Cardinals.
Megan took it strong to the cup there, and again, good things happen when you drive to the basket, and the Bulldogs will get to run a out of bounds play here.
Familiar territory for Bedford, running time as the ball's out of bounds, but the clock continues to roll, and that's what has shortened a lot of the games. You wonder why Bedford scored 90 points against the number 2 team. Well, they probably didn't have any running time. They probably got to play all 32 minutes, and it was the starters on the floor last Friday. 91-54 win. 2 teams that will probably meet again in the playoffs, I would think. Pinkerton and BG.
And Coach Gibbs of Bedford did say that. He wouldn't be surprised if they met. As Dufo, no,
she's got such a good-looking shot. She's barely misses when she does.
Senior Gianna Pizzetti went in and did the dirty work cleaning the glass. Regan in the corner. Back up to Drapo.
Nice catch. Drapo. Good spin shot. Oh, it doesn't go. I thought she had the correct spin on that. Bounce pass, Drapo. Working her way in, and no love lost between Bedford and PG. Not everybody gets helped off the floor.
you challenge that shot, and Bedford getting called on the foul. That's Kamenini, Karina, the junior, as Drapo will go to line, but you don't want to give any easy buckets. As a result, what Bedford's saying is we're going to challenge your shot. We're going to make you earn it from the free throw line. And Drapo, nice job by her as she knocks down the first. She's battled all night here, John.
She's been pushing against Lana McCarthy all night.
It's about time the physics went in her favor, right?
It's exactly, I was going to say that, yeah. So BG with the steal, under a minute to go. Regan's shot is deflected, it's short, and loose ball fought for. BG comes away with it. No, they don't. Yes, they do.
These are games, John, that you're going to come up on the short end of the scoreboard, but these are games that you're going to learn from, you're going to build off of, and it's going to help give you direction as to what kind of a team do you want to be? Where do you want to be in 2 years, 3 years, and you're looking at what you want to become, so how do we get there?
All these girls have got a really good taste of what it takes to play at the highest level in New Hampshire. What a great try there by Drapo. She may have just ran out of gas.
That was a good look.
5 seconds
to go. Took to the bucket, just came up short, but
that's the game.
A good effort by this Bishop Guertin Cardinal team as they will go down to the odds-on favorite team to win the state title, the Bedford Bulldogs, 59-23. So defensively, John, not a bad effort, especially considering the shooting that this Bedford team had in the first half, the shooting percentage.
Right. Yeah, their scoring slowed down a pace, and that was a credit to the tenacity and the determination of the BG defense.
We'll get a chance here, hopefully, to speak to somebody from Bedford. For those of you watching on Bedford television, Jason Roby, John Collins, and a cast of thousands bringing all of the action for you here from the Nest, the campus of Bishop Guertin High School. You're watching on Nashua ETV, you're watching on Bedford television, and you're watching on the Highlight Guy. And it's been our pleasure to call the game for you here as the nightcap this evening will feature the Bedford Bulldogs. They got their first loss of the year last week to the Pinkerton Astros. They will look to get back in the winning column here against a very hungry Bishop Guertin Cardinal team. And hopefully we get a chance, John, before we take it off the air here, to speak with somebody from Bedford High School. We'll see if Coach Gibbs sends us somebody, but your thoughts on this one before we hopefully get to talk to somebody.
Well, we touched on the most important thing for the Bishop Guertin girls is a young team. They learn what a championship team, a likely championship team, looks like, the level of intensity that they have to play at in order to succeed. And so a very valuable night of basketball for the BG girls. And they did impress. They had their moments when they showed glimpses of how they could have a winning season as early as next year. Bedford, congratulations. The juggernaut is right on track, and they just have to treat every game, every moment like it's an even Steven battle, and don't take their foot off the gas pedal, and good things are going to happen.
No question about that. This is a team that is fully loaded, top to bottom. Coach Gibbs has them firing on all cylinders, and we truly look forward to what we're going to see in the second season from this Bedford team. Bishop Guertin, meanwhile, they have some work to do. They're on the outside looking in potentially with 6 wins. Got to try and get to that 8-win marker. They got a couple of games left here, and they can definitely do it. If they play the way they played tonight, they'll be in those games, and if they get into that second season, we'll give anybody in that first round a tough go of it.
Yeah, it was a treat to do this game.
Always
with
a
you
treat,
tonight,
John
Jason.
Collins, and I brag all the time when I talk to people that I get to work with one of the best in the business in John Collins. I oftentimes say that I'm undefeated up in the booth, and a lot of the reason is because I've learned all the tricks of the trade from you. I model my play-by-play, my color commentary after the great John Collins. No question about it. I thank you for being up here with me tonight, and we'll take a look at the final scoring sheet here for the Bishop Guertin Cardinals. It was Maddie Long with the bucket, Bella Fayed with a point, Maggie Gallagher with 2, Holly Dufo had 7, and leading all scorers for the Cardinals was Thalia Drapo with 10. Those scores, of course, unofficial. She battled all night long on the glass as well and played great defense. On the other side of the ledger, it was Annie Zink with 11. Lila Stein led all scorers with 20. Sarah Muir had 6 points. Kate Allard had 15. Melody McCarthy with 4. And Lana McCarthy with 2 to round out the scoring ledger for both of these teams. A great game coming up for you here. Again, we're still waiting to see if Coach Gibbs sends us anybody. Sometimes they go back into the locker room, and we'll see if he sends somebody out to talk to us. I think he's going to. Coach Gibbs, I hope so. I spoke to him, and I'm sure the folks watching on Bedford TV want to see some of their players come and get some screen time here. So I'm not sure if Coach Gibbs sent her our way. I'm hopeful Kate Allard is joining us here. Hi, Kate. How are you? You can come up if you want. Sure. Once again, another athlete here, John, able to kind of hop up on the stage here and join us. Coach Liv Orlando from BG kind of hopped up here earlier and joining us, gracious enough to join us here in our post game is a young lady who played a terrific game here tonight. And we've watched you, Miss Allard, for the better part of 3 years here and marvel at your game. Have to ask you this question. When you play a game like tonight, are you able to put what happened in the last game, the last time we saw you was against Pinkerton Academy, you're coming in here tonight playing against a Bishop Guertin team that's a little bit young, not quite the team that you faced each of the last few years in the state finals. Are you guys able to kind of reset and refocus at the task at hand when you come in to a place like here and play a young team like this Guertin team?
Yeah, I mean, Pinkerton was a really good win for our team. We celebrated there.
Yeah.
But our team always says we're looking forward to the next game, and we always prep for the next game because everyone is a great team. Everyone can have a good day. So we coming in super focused, super locked in, and just not underestimating any team.
Yeah, and when you don't underestimate them, but you probably still have that eye on the prize, right? I know you went to Durham each of the last couple of years. You came up short there going for that state title. When we talked to Lana McCarthy at that Pinkerton game, she said you guys are playing with a little chip on your shoulder. Is the goal to get back to Durham and take what you feel like maybe you should have had a year ago?
Yes, we definitely have a chip on our shoulder. It's definitely act as motivations, keeping us super focused, but we're just trying to stay together, keep looking for the next game, and just keep getting better each time.
Talk to us a little bit about the inside-outside game. Your entire lineup can bang down low and also can step behind the three-point line and drill the three. That's going to be demoralizing for a lot of your opponents when you really can't focus on any one area.
Yeah, I mean, our team is so well-rounded overall. It's so nice playing with them because, like, if Lana's getting doubled, she has the core vision to kick it out for, like, Sarah or Lila from the three-point line. So another big thing we focus on is sharing the ball. We value assists on our team. So if we can find the extra man for that open shot, like, it's a win for everyone.
I want to welcome everybody watching here on Bedford Television, Nashua ETV, and the Highlight Guy. We are joined here by the great one, Kate Allard. I want to introduce you to another great one. This is John Collins. John, I want to hand it over to you if you have any questions you'd like to ask Kate.
I just have one question about shooting form. Your shooting form doesn't happen by accident, right? Do you model it after anybody, and how did you get to the point you're at now?
Yeah, I like to watch a lot of college basketball on the TV, so I study their forms. I like to rep my form a lot. My dad's a big helper. I watch my own film back, see what I'm doing, and just try and make adjustments each time. I mean, reps are also super important along with that shot, so just always getting reps, always super locked in when you shoot the ball, and just trying to, like, do the same thing every time.
Right, that's the key.
Yes.
Repetition. I mean, I'm a baseball guy, and they talk about the difference between a major league pitcher and a minor league pitcher, and it's accuracy, it's control, it's being able to repeat the same thing over and over. And I see that in your shot, the release. I mean, I guess, do people copy Steph Curry, or is he too much of a savant?
Yeah. Caitlin Clark, maybe.
Okay.
Caitlin Clark, there you go.
That's a good thing. I mean, keep doing it.
Thank you.
It's beautiful to watch.
Kate, there are a lot of young girls around the state, around New England, maybe even around the country watching you here tonight. Do you have any advice for those young kids that are trying to make their game better, things that they should be doing as they move forward and emulate and want to be like you one day?
I'd say every opportunity you're given, every chance you get, just try and get better each time, whether it's 15 minutes a day, like, just keep working on your game. I mean, just keep growing as an athlete overall.
Awesome. Well said. She is Kate Allard. She had 15 points tonight, a monster on the glass, long defensive stops for this young lady. We're going to see her playing in that second season. Congratulations, and thanks for joining us. All right, Kate Allard. Well, that's going to do it for us here, John. I am about out of gas myself, so
yes.
I'm going to let you take this one home, sir.
Thank you. We have the boys basketball game coming up here on Nashua ETV.
So, John Collins, always a pleasure working with you, sir. I want to thank everybody for watching around the Granite State, around New England, all of our friends from around the country. It was our pleasure to call the action for you. I hope we get to do it again real soon. Thanks, everyone, for watching. And as I always like to say, it's not the critic who counts, but you can always count on the critic. Take care, everybody.